really all we want to talk about is relationships and family life, isn't it true? I mean, that's how we apply everything where our life really happens, our spiritual growth happens in the intimacy of our household more than anything else. So,
Yeah, it's really interesting how, with the intentions that we've made with each other and for our family and with many other people at the same time, that how much more fun it has become to not defend the ego. It's just becomes annoying to oneself to be defending something that's not doesn't even exist, in the sense that whatever we're saying is obviously in order to defend some sense of self we have, but the facts that we're offering are not facts. They're just perceptions that we have in that particular moment. And that if we move on down the road, what we call failing forward, what happens is things change. It's like the feelings change, the thoughts about the feelings change, and the next thing you know, we're in terra incognita, which is where we could go, I'm sorry, I just love you, let's do something different. And that is so much better than the idea of trying to get to resolution, which many people are very attached to. It's like, I need resolution around this, or I need reconciliation, or I need this or the other thing. If you love the person and you're intimate with them and you don't intend to leave them, then you don't need any reconciliation. You need to get on down the road. So that's what we try to do, is just keep moving down the road. And it does definitely increase the intimacy for us, because it's so vulnerable when you don't defend yourself.
yeah, and it's that thing you were talking about giving the other person, the other people in your family or your friends, the opportunity to choose for themselves when they want to make a correction, and not calling people out on stuff, and having been given the space yourself to consider where you were coming from. And if you were coming from feeling defensive, you can let that go. It's like you don't have to. The beauty of the freedom that we give each other in our family is that we get to do it a lot. This is the back to the quote that you read. It's just like there's a constant stream of opportunity to go like, wow, I could completely let that go. I did not need to pursue that for 1 second. And then when you realize how much of your commentary is coming from the defense of something that you did not know before that you were defending, you see everybody else is doing the same thing and you don't want to talk about it. There's no interest in busting people about it. Feel very compassionate towards everybody else. You see how afraid everyone is that somebody's going to tell them that they're wrong, that they're not enough, that they don't belong, that they're going, you're going to get judged out of here. And you realize that most everybody is concerning themselves with ways all the time just to feel okay about themselves. And it's like there's this opportunity that you can have in the family to move through a lot of that content really quickly, where if you don't have that kind of intimacy, you're just, the amount of opportunities for that kind of really vulnerable opening into your vulnerability. I mean, this happens like all evening long for us, from pre-dinner all the way to bedtime, when the family time really amps up. It's just
we have a kid.
A great kid who is
kid.
on this. Definitely, she is trying to learn how to be a human being to the best of these teachings and her own learnings. She's not taught by her father about it. She's taught with her own connection with her creator about it, which she's cultivated since a really early age. And it's helpful. It's really helpful to find out how defended you were in the past and how defended everybody else is, and to understand that that's not, that is not, like, there's nothing to work on about that. It's only a person. It's just like where the line between emotional healing and emotional growth meets spiritual healing and spiritual growth. It's, if you're discussing the reasons for why you felt defended, you're hoping to gain some kind of rational understanding about your feelings that at best gives you a rational reason about something about your feelings. But when you're just exploring the physical terrain in your presence that is from not thinking, not reconsidering it, not just literally, quite literally, the word is letting it go, just letting it go, and then you see what's there underneath, and it's not ever a problem. It's just like, oh, it's me and I'm enough, and wow, I sure am a person. I sure do a lot of things based on human being feelings all the time. But there's your spiritual growth. Your spiritual growth is that you accept that you have all these feelings. They run you most of the time, no matter. It's like in the spiritual community that we have, we talk about trying to attain to a practice where you're not run by your emotions, but you're going to get not run by your emotions just 1/2 second after you were run by your emotions. You're going to get run by your emotions, and then you're going to go like, whoops, that's the thing that I can let go of. And there's your spiritual growth. There's your peace and happiness. I don't have to explain what I just did to myself or anybody else. I'm just going to move right on down the line, pay attention to something that feels great. Something, back to your quote, right in the present moment, right in front of me. Hey, let's be right here talking about the fun stuff that interests us instead of getting in on ourselves or each other about how, this is a common one for the women, for myself, for my parents with the kids, but like, how could you not know that? How could you have done that? It's just like, that's a hard one to not exert the force of that on your loved ones. It's the other part of the telling people about themselves is insinuating that they're completely insane or crazy or imbecilic or whatever it is. It's just, they might appear that way to you in that moment, but it's just never the best path forward to start a discussion like that.
Yeah, and I'd like to say this, people say, well, how do you do that? This book is about our humanity and our relationship with our Creator, but it's not a religious book. It's a book about accepting ourselves completely as human, and then given the fact that we're human, what do we do about that? And so a lot of this book is just the recognition of our humanity, the recognition that we do want to do better with ourselves and with each other, and softening, opening, and allowing our life to occur. And then these kinds of solutions, they're not, it's not 10 bullet points, it's a way that will work. If it was complicated, we could not do it. We're not geniuses at all, but we can do it. We can do it, and we can fail, and we can do it, and we can fail, and so can you. And so this book, A Clear and Simple Prayer, is available on Amazon, and I hope you will order yourself a copy. And if you have a religious intolerance of Amazon, you can come over to our house and get yourself a copy as well. So thank you very much for your kind attention, and blessings for everybody.